going to use this for? So I'm guessing people that they get out of order or don't go along with their agenda, or I'm not exactly sure, but it's just looking, pretty ominous when you see the signs that are going on. But on the other hand, what's exciting is I believe the second coming of Christ is coming soon. I believe in the rapture of the church, which according to the Bible is supposed to occur before the 7-year tribulation. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
oh yes, definitely.
So believers, but there will be people that are converted on, during the tribulation, which will be martyred by the Antichrist. There's supposed to be a bloodbath that's unimaginable. So all the evil that's going on right now is just the beginning. It's not. It's going to get so you can't imagine how horrible it's going to be.
Well, this is just the beginning. You're right. I agree with you. They said it will make. I've watched the tape. I think it's the 7 signs of Christ's return. I have it here.
Right.
And I think they said it will make Hitler look like it was nothing.
Right, and
his countenance is fierce. His countenance is fierce.
Right.
And yes, I'm a devout Christian. I was raised in a Lutheran church. And I now see a lot of people, Christian, coming to me. A lot of Jewish are being persecuted. And I am getting Muslims, too, that are being persecuted now because, as we know, the Antichrist does not want anyone to have faith outside of the one world religion, which will be hailing him.
Exactly.
So every religion will be persecuted. We can all forget fighting each other, and because every religion is going to be persecuted.
Right.
And it's not going to matter. The Antichrist comes in, he wants a one world religion, and it's to worship him. No one else. He won't allow Muslims to have their religion. He won't allow Christians to have theirs. He won't allow, of course, the Jewish. He's going to go after them because the God of Israel is the God he's been at war with since the beginning of time.
Right.
So, anything to get rid of Christianity, and I believe Jewish and Muslim, any type of religion he wants to get rid of. And I hear my perpetrators talk all the time, Christianity is for idiots, Christianity is this. And you know what? I'm not turning my faith. I'm not going to do it. And if it comes down to it that I eventually die for it, then I guess I do, because eternity is a long time compared to what I will face here.
Right.
Well, I will face here with Antichrist and burning in hell for eternity. It's not worth it to me. So, I look at it this way. The Edge is a great voice to get this out and to really tell people what's happening. Because this is a global campaign of terror. I've said it earlier and I'm going to say it again.
Yes.
People are dying. I've known people who were persecuted so bad they've left the United States and there are other countries. They haven't seen their families in 12 years.
Wow.
So I think you're exactly right. And I hear this from a lot of people. It's like the devil's disciples are walking the earth.
Right, exactly. And I've heard that, when the Antichrist is on the scene, the devil himself is supposed to possess him, so that's where he gets all his powers from that he's going to deceive people with. And so it's going to be really scary. And I, for one, I don't want to be here when that's going on. So
no, I don't. I believe in the rapture of the church as well. And I don't know that I will be taken or if I will not. My faith is very strong in Christ. But that's going to be his determination. It's not up to man. And my job is to still be a good person while I'm here. Even through all of what I've been through, the rapes and the gang rapes and things like that. Right. I'm not gonna be an evil person because that's what they want. They want to turn me. They want to turn you. I hear them say all the time, "Join us."
Right.
No, I will not join you. I do not believe in sacrificing humans. I do not believe in terrorizing human beings on any level, and I will not join you. I will not turn. You can bother me every night. You can continue to rip up my clothes, whatever. I'm not going to change my faith.
Right.
Because it's just not worth it. It's just not in me. And I can't imagine spending eternity with the devil.
Right. In a lake of fire, no doubt.
In a lake of fire.
Right.
What tells me is these people think that they're really privileged, that they're actually going to meet the Antichrist. Like he's going to care who they are.
Right, and they actually think that hell's going to be a great party, and, they fall for this deception, it's going to be great, and, heaven's boring, who would want to go there? I mean, I hear all kinds of things, so.
Well, you were, how did you come to determine that this church was cult-based? I mean, how did you figure it out? Because I think that was a blessing for you to figure that out.
Oh, definitely. I had a friend who had left before me, and she happened to, she was Googling online, and she found some evidence from, there was another church leader based in Indianapolis, I believe, that was connected, and he basically confronted the church leaders on some things that he felt were unbiblical, and they basically excommunicated him from the church, and, we were told, of course, that he was a defector of the faith and not to pay attention. He was, crazy or whatever. So then she found out the real story from this guy, which I feel his story is credible because he, was believing according to what we do. And so I found out all these things that had been going on with the leadership and how they were treating people, and they were keeping detailed records of people, of their sins. I mean, it's just, they released, not names, but they released the actual records of, in fact, they had this on 2020, I forgot how many years ago, where they had details of people's secret, like this person's mentally ill, this is their weaknesses. I mean, they'd keep detailed documents on everybody. They assign you to a discipler that you have to answer to, like 24/7. You have to get permission, to get a job, to get married. They control everything you do. They've made people drop out of school. They want you to be dependent on them completely. You have to give almost all your money to them. It's just ridiculous. So,
well, that's called stupid. That also sounds like the devil, because you mentioned that they keep a list of your weaknesses.
Right, and then they use them against you if you don't agree. If you question one thing, they'll pull out, well, look at, what about this, and how dare you, question, because we're the ones that have, they're the ones that have the wisdom, and you're just, kind of like we're the peons, and, who are we to question anything, so.
Yeah, I deal with this every night. I get the voices every night, and they say the same things that you're talking about, and they try to play on my weaknesses. They do, the devil does that. God doesn't do that. Right. God wants you to be a happy individual within him, not a miserable, depressed person.
Exactly.
And I keep hearing them say, you're depressed, you're depressed. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. They want to make you feel depressed. I think when he comes, he wants to give the appearance that he can cure everyone's problems, the global food crisis, the wars, the terrorism, the depression, everything. He's going to come and say, hey, I can cure this. And when he does it, many people are going to fall for it, and they'll follow him. Exactly. So I think these people are trying to get people ready. They're getting people in a depressed down state, or they're getting people to commit suicide, and they're getting rid of them, getting the Christians off the earth or whatever. Right. And when he comes, whoever survives, if they're depressed or they've fallen for this, and the problems get solved and all these world issues get resolved, then, hey, he is the Christ. Right. He must be, really, yeah. He is. Exactly. He must be. Right. He did this for us. Right. And, a false man is what he is. False, totally false. Exactly. I wanted you to talk a little bit about, since we're talking about the Satanist and the Antichrist, you had mentioned to me that you were getting symbols, satanic symbols, scratched into your furniture and other places around your house. Right. Actually, the one spot was we've had to install 3 different locks in the past 5 years because the first, they kept tampering with it. The first time, it was, I don't know what they did, but the lock became so sticky that we couldn't turn our key in it at all. That happened like in one day. And then we went out and got like more locks or a latch or whatever, and it just, they kept, they keep tampering with it. I don't know, there'd be scratch marks and stuff, but not enough evidence to call the police where a lock was busted or anything was stolen, because if anything was stolen, that would be different, but they never do that. So, basically we're on our 3rd latch, and I noticed there's scratched just a gold latch, and there's like, I don't know, I know that the Freemasons are big on numbers, and I know Satanists are too, but I see like the number 7 and just different like symbols that I'm not familiar with, but when I look up online, I can see that there are similarities between Freemason symbols and Satanic symbols. So I'm wondering if maybe this, a lot of times if you offend somebody that's part of this group, they will, launch a revenge campaign against you, which pretty much lasts for life, because I've also discovered a man's ring with some stars on it, and it looked to me they were either Satanic or Freemason. I don't know which one, but, it basically was left as evidence. I think they wanted me to know who it was, or, not specifically, but I know there's a lot of people that are involved in the Masons, including the last church I was in, not the one I was talking about, but another church that I belong to. There's a
a Masonic hall that's not even a block away, and it didn't occur to me at the time that there's a heavy infiltration in the churches of these people. And there's a lot of corruption going on that I've learned more recently, that there's just a lot of corruption, and I think it has something to do with that. It's the same tactics. It's all over. So
it's like a network of criminals. I say this in every interview.
Right.
I believe it is a network of criminals, cultists, satanic cults, and other criminals who've infiltrated our government, including Nazis.
Right.
I believe the Nazis are behind this from after World War II because,
I do too.
What is it, Operation Paperclip? They brought over